welcome to the deep dive. You know when you're scrolling online and something just makes you stop and go, whoa, there's got to be more to this story.
Oh, absolutely.
That's exactly how we felt about your submission.
It's like that feeling you get when you stumble upon something, and you just know there are layers upon layers to uncover.
And we knew you were the perfect person to help us unpack it all.
Well, the YouTube video transcript, the one you sent over titled, "My Wife, the Cheater, Showed Up at Our Anniversary After Spending the Night with Her Lover." That one. It's a doozy.
It really is.
Infidelity, maybe even some corporate espionage mixed in, and just a hint of government secrets.
Talk about a recipe for intrigue. So we're diving headfirst into the world of Tom and Justine Waters. From the outside, they seem like your average couple, but as we'll soon find out, there's more beneath the surface.
What I find so interesting is how quickly this story pulls you in. We start with Tom, who seems like a pretty regular salesman, sending a very to-the-point anniversary text to his wife, Justine.
And by to the point, you mean?
I mean, there's no honey, no heart emojis, just a very sterile, very businesslike happy anniversary. Not exactly the romantic gesture you'd expect after 5 years.
Not exactly the warm and fuzzies you'd anticipate, for sure. And it seems like Justine picks up on that too, because she tries to add some warmth, saying, I love you, but there's nothing from Tom, no response at all.
And that's where the tension starts to simmer, because while Justine's getting ready for their anniversary dinner, completely unaware of what Tom knows, she's also carrying the weight of having just spent the night with her lover, Jake.
Oh, this is already getting complicated.
Yeah.
And did she not suspect anything from Tom?
Not at all. She even tells a friend about the new blue dress she's wearing, a detail that becomes important later on.
A blue dress, huh. Okay, so we've got a cheating wife, a seemingly clueless husband, and a mysterious blue dress. It sounds like things are about to get really interesting. Let's talk about this anniversary dinner, because I have a feeling it's not going to be filled with your typical anniversary toasts.
If only. No, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. The transcript paints a pretty vivid picture of the dinner. All these forced smiles, this awkward, stilted conversation. Justine's trying so hard to rekindle some kind of spark, but little does she know.
Tom's already 10 steps ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knows about Jake, knows about the affair, and honestly, it's like he's orchestrating this whole evening like a master puppeteer.
Oh, I see where this is going. He's playing a very dangerous game, and Justine is walking right into it completely blind.
Precisely. And remember that blue dress we talked about? Well, it makes a reappearance at the dinner. See, Justine had mentioned wearing a different outfit at Jake's place, and Tom, being the observant guy that he is, well, he noticed.
He clocked it.
Yep. So when Justine shows up at the restaurant, he comments on the dress, saying he doesn't recognize it and that, get this, it smells like it's been hanging in Jake Carter's closet.
Wait, hold on. First of all, O-U-C-H. That's brutal. But second of all, who is this Jake, and how does Tom know so much about him?
Well, that's where the story takes its first major twist. Remember how we thought Tom was just a simple salesman?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much. The transcript reveals that he's actually connected to this super secret government agency known only as Alpha One.
Hold on, wait, back up. Did you just say a super secret government agency?
Yeah.
Are we talking like spy thriller levels of secret?
You got it. It's like something straight out of a movie. And get this, Tom's not just connected to Alpha One, he's actually one of their operatives.
So he's not selling security systems, he's installing high-tech surveillance for the government.
Exactly. And that whole salesman thing, it's the perfect cover to get into people's homes, businesses, you name it, without raising any red flags.
I mean, that's brilliant. But also, kind of creepy if you think about it too long. But what about that comment he made about Jake's closet? Was that just a lucky guess?
Oh, no. This wasn't a guessing game for Tom. He was sending Justine a very clear message.
You mean like, I know what you've been up to?
Precisely. Like, I see you, Justine, and I have ways of finding out. He was playing mind games, and poor Justine had no idea.
Talk about psychological warfare. But Justine, bless her heart, she's still trying to salvage something from this night, even mentioning the possibility of dancing later. She had no clue what was about to hit her.
None whatsoever, and that's where Tom drops the bomb about Jake. He doesn't just casually mention it, he goes all in, revealing he knows about the affair, and even bringing up Justine's boss in the process. I can only imagine the look on her face.
I bet the blood just drained right from her face.
Talk about a mood killer. But the way the transcript describes it, Tom didn't hold back. He laid out all this evidence. Emails, texts, even mentioning he had video footage of their encounters.
He came armed and dangerous.
Oh, he was prepared.
Justine never saw it coming. To be sitting there celebrating your anniversary 1 minute and then your whole world comes crashing down the next, that's brutal. But Tom wasn't done, was he?
Oh, not even close. Remember that blue dress?
The one he made sure to point out.
That's the one. Well, he reveals he actually had a private investigator following Justine, and when she was at Jake's apartment, she was wearing something completely different. Tom even has the investigator's report with descriptions and everything.
He really did his homework. Okay, I have to admit, even though I know she messed up, I kind of feel bad for her. It's like he's dismantling her life piece by piece.
Yeah, it's cold, calculated, and completely controlled.
And it gets even worse. Didn't you say the transcript title mentioned something about a baby?
You're right, I did, because just when you think it couldn't get any more intense, Tom drops another bombshell.
This poor woman. What else could he throw at her?
Baby Jacob isn't his.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. He calmly places a DNA test on the table like it's no big deal.
Talk about adding insult to injury. I mean, staging this whole elaborate dinner just to serve her with divorce papers on their anniversary. That's brutal.
It's ruthless.
What do you think, listeners? Was this just cold, hard revenge?
It makes you wonder what's going on in Tom's head.
Or did he feel like he had no other choice? But even after the divorce papers, he doesn't stop there, does he? He gives Justine this ominous warning about Jake.
Oh, yeah, he tells her to steer clear, that things are about to get much, much worse.
I don't like how that sounds.
And then he mentions something about clients and federal agencies, hinting that Jake's mixed up in something dangerous.
Oh, so it's more than just a jealous lover situation.
It seems like Jake's in way over his head. And with Tom's ties to Alpha One, it's clear that this whole thing is about to get very messy.
So we've got a scorned husband with government connections, a wife caught in a web of lies, and a mysterious lover who's stumbled into something he shouldn't have. I can't even imagine where this could possibly go from here.
Buckle up, because the transcript takes an even darker turn. Remember when Tom mentioned that Alpha One insisted he upgrade his home security system?
Oh, yeah. With all the bells and whistles, right?
Well, those upgrades are about to come in handy. Because guess who decides to pay Tom a little visit?
Jake.
Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a confrontation.
Okay, you've got me hooked. So Jake shows up at Tom's door, ready for a showdown, and Tom's home security system is no joke. What happens when those two worlds collide?
Well, Jake arrives at Tom's place ready for a fight. The transcript says he's completely enraged about losing his job and his lover, and he's still totally clueless that Tom is anything more than a regular guy.
So does Tom answer the door? Does he have a weapon ready? I can't imagine this is going to be a friendly chat over coffee.
Not quite. While Jake is outside yelling and banging on the door, Tom is calmly talking on the phone. It's like he's orchestrating everything that's about to happen.
Okay, now you're just being mean. Give us the details already.
All right. So Jake finally forces his way inside, ready to confront Tom face to face, and bam! 15 little red dots appear on his chest out of nowhere.
Those must be from the security system, right?
You got it. Tranquilizer darts launched from some kind of silent weapon.
Wow. This is some next-level spy stuff.
Yeah.
So what happens to Jake? Does Tom tie him up? Call the cops?
Neither. Tom just calmly picks up his phone again and says, "Clean up on aisle 15. A few minutes later, this unmarked white van shows up and they whisk Jake's unconscious body away. It's all very efficient and incredibly creepy.
Okay, you can't just leave us hanging like that. What happened to Jake? Who took him?
Well, this is where things get even more interesting. The story jumps ahead and we meet Regis, the head of Alpha One. Remember those clients of Jake's that Tom mentioned before?
Yeah, the ones he hinted were involved in something shady.
Right. Well, it turns out they were actually targets of Alpha One's surveillance. Jake wasn't just some random guy having an affair. He was caught in the middle of something much bigger.
Oh, wow. So what was Alpha One after? And what about Justine? Where does she fit into all of this?
The transcript doesn't go into too much detail about Alpha One's objectives, but we get a glimpse into their methods. Remember those tranquilizer darts that took down Jake?
Yeah, what about them?
Well, they weren't just filled with a sedative, they were also laced with some kind of truth serum.
Oh, boy. That doesn't sound good. What happened? Did Jake talk?
Oh, he talked all right. The transcript says he was singing like a canary. I mean, literally chirping like a bird. Apparently, the truth serum had some unexpected side effects. It's really unsettling when you think about it, the lengths that Alpha One was willing to go to get information.
Yeah, that is pretty messed up. So what about Tom and Justine? What happens to them after all of this?
Well, the transcript is a little vague about Justine. We know she went back to work, but it seems like she's being watched closely.
You mean like she's under surveillance?
Exactly. It's almost like even though her affair unintentionally helped Alpha One, she didn't exactly get off scot-free.
That's a good reminder that there can be unintended consequences, even if you're not the one actively doing something wrong.
Absolutely. As for Tom, well, he gets an interesting proposition from Regis.
An offer he can't refuse.
Maybe. It's described as a partnership, but the details are pretty vague. But given what we know about Alpha One so far, it's safe to assume it's not your typical 9 to 5 job, especially because Regis's parting words to Tom involve a casual mention of 50 caliber chain guns.
So that's not ominous at all. So what do you think, listeners? What does the future hold for Tom? Is he a full-fledged secret agent now? What kind of partnership requires those kinds of weapons? This deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about.